We are live at Lad Peoples Memorial Stadium for a 5A Region 1 showdown. Both Vigor and Williamson enter tonight undefeated in region play and looking for a win to keep them on top in the region. It's only week 4, but in a 9-team region, every week matters, and it gets no bigger than tonight's game. Get ready, the Wolves and Lions are about to clash for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening, I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty, and we're glad you are with us. Corey, we have 2 undefeated teams tonight in region play, but someone's going to take a loss.
Well, when you look at this particular matchup, excited to see these 2 schools that really don't like one another on the football field. And you have the historic traditions of Williamson along with Vigor. And you look at the game 1 year ago, a very low-scoring game, but it ultimately determined seeding in the playoffs. So this game is no different. You want to become 3-0 in 5A play.
You really do. So let's get into your checklist for tonight. What do these 2 teams need to do to get the win?
Williamson absolutely has to make a wolf pack wall. And what do I mean by that? They have to stop this potent Vigor running game. They have to lower the Lions' penalties. I know their colors have yellow in it, but they don't want to have a lot of yellow flags called against them. And they need to win the special teams phases. Extra points, kicking game, punting game, flipping the field are going to be critical for the Williamson Lions. The Vigor Wolves, they must run with the pack. That's what they do. They are able to establish that running game, and we'll see how they're able to turn it up tonight with Carlos Benjamin. They have to win the turnover battle. It's critical to create those turnovers and be on the plus side at the end of the game. They need to start fast and finish even stronger. They got off to a slow start a week ago against the Central Wildcats. We'll see if they get off to a stronger start and a stronger finish tonight.
All right, Corey, we'll check back with you later on about that checklist and see if those things came to fruition. Right now, we got to take it down to the field, check in with our 3rd member of the crew, Kimberly Dunn with the BSN weather forecast.
It is another beautiful night for high school football, and this week is looking very similar to what it did last week. We are starting with nice temperatures around 80 degrees for kickoff. Humidity is a little bit high, 64%, but it's Mobile, Alabama. What can you expect? But these teams will have a great night, great weather conditions for some football, and they're just ready for the competition.
All right, Kimberly, we appreciate that. A lot is going on tonight here at Lad Peoples Stadium. It's a 5A Region 1 showdown. So, Corey, we need to get into the nuts and bolts of the game. Brought to you by Threaded Fasteners. Who are our impact players for tonight?
Well, you always want to keep an eye on our impact players. Brought to us by Threaded Fasteners. For Williamson, it's a linebacker / running back, Ellis McGaskin. He's only a freshman, folks. Expect to hear his name a lot here throughout the next few years. And also, Yusuf Clark. He's a striker. He comes ferociously. He leads this Williamson Lion defense. Look forward to watching him tonight. On the Vigor side of things, you have a big offensive lineman, 5-star Micah DuBose, who will be leading this Wolfpack rushing attack. He's fun to watch. He has a lot of fun and excitement playing the game. And the linebacker, Brandon Purifoy. This young man is verbally committed to Mississippi Valley State, but has led the Wolfpack in tackles since he was a freshman and arrived on the scene. He's a difference maker for Coach Cook.
He really is. He is a tackling machine. Threaded Fasteners, solutions from the ground up since 1979. Got to thank them for sponsoring our impact players. Keep it right here. The kickoff is headed your way. We're going to take a break and come back. Vigor versus Williamson, a 5A Region 1 showdown. It's headed your way for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
Do you feel alone, overwhelmed, or helpless?
There's hope, there's help. Call or text 988.
You don't have to face your crisis alone. If you need a safe space to talk with a trusted adult for support, reach out to your school counselor.
Do you need help to make it through everyday struggles? Do you need someone to talk to?
Call or text 988. Your social emotional wellness is worth it.
Remember, there's hope, there's help.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
We welcome you back to Lad Peoples Memorial Stadium, moments away from kickoff here in the broadcast booth. Al Wheaton along with Corley Bounty, backed up by our statisticians, Shauna Powell and Matt Moore. And Corey, we talked about the importance of this ball game. It's a region battle. Both of these teams are undefeated. So if we take a look at the region standings, you can kind of see what's up for grabs tonight. Gulf Shores on top, 3-0, Vigor 3-0, Williamson right there at 2-0 with a region record. But Gulf Shores is playing UMS Wright tonight, a team they've never beat. They're 0-7 all time against the Bulldogs.
Some outstanding 5A Region 1 matchups that are going to have playoff implications early here, and it's so important for you not to drop one of these early games in 5A Region 1 for sure.
Also tonight, Faith Academy down at Rain. They're playing them, and Citronelle at Alma Bryant kind of playing out of the region. And Alberta at LaFleur tonight. LaFleur 1-2 in region play. As we take it down to the field, they're getting ready for the coin toss as we're over the shoulder of our white hat tonight, about 90 seconds away from kickoff, Corey.
It's always important, again, we appreciate the officials here in the state of Alabama. They don't get a lot of love. We always like to talk about when they make the mistakes, but you have to become one in order to make those mistakes. So thank you to all the officials across the state of Alabama who do a phenomenal job coming out and supporting. Without them, we wouldn't have a contest.
And, you know, they're always in need of officials. So if you'd like to be an official, you could definitely do that. Vigor is going to be receiving the ball here in the first half. So we'll know they'll get that offense out on the field. Coming up tonight, we'll be showing you our spotlight players, as a matter of fact. And one of them, Corey, is, I believe, your impact, one of your possible impact players. But we'll get that up for you as well, as we're just moments away from kickoff. Vigor and Williamson, 5A Region 1 showdown. And this series is something else. They've met 32 times. Vigor leads the series overall 23-9. But Corey, I came across this nugget. Since 2006, they've played every year 18 times. But the series actually started in 1971. But it was on and off for about 15 years. But listen at this, Corey. In the past 10 years, Vigor is 8-2 over Williamson. Technically 9-1. They had a forfeit a win back in 2013. So the Lions are eager for a victory tonight.
Well, they're hungry, and you look at this team coming in, the home team from Maysville, across the tracks, and when you're having an opportunity to play a team like Vigor, you used to not be in the same region. And now that you are in the same region, this game takes on a lot more meaning, and we'll see a phenomenal crowd tonight. We'll have two fantastic bands, two fantastic cheerleading squads, and it's just going to be an outstanding night. Friday Night Lights, this is what it's all about, Al.
You're right about that. Great crowd on the way as they're still filing in, and the Vigor Wolves run onto the field all white, whited out tonight with the white trousers, the white jersey, and the white helmet with the green wolf. And there are the Williamson Lions. And Corey, if I'm correct, this will be the 4th week in a row where the home team is wearing a black jersey.
Last time we saw Vigor is when they took on Blunt, and Coach Cook told us, look, you wear all black to a funeral. And they ultimately were able to bury Mattie T. Blunt High School. And now you look at Williamson, the home squad, you just mentioned it, coming out in their all black. So I really know that when you look at the swag of both of these coaches and both of these teams, we're in for a tremendous high school treat tonight here as Toe is about to go to leather here at Lab Peoples Stadium.
Just moments away from kickoff as the Wolves are running out onto the field. Williamson already out there doing the kickoffs of Williamson, the kicking duties. Daniel Pedraza, I may have to get you to help me with that one, Corey. You've PA'd a couple of their games so far this season, but Mr. Pedraza, what is it, Corey? Pedraza will be handling the kicking for Williamson. Back to receive for Vigor. Some speedsters, Carlos Benjamin and Kevin Malone. More about Benjamin later on, as he's one of our spotlight players we'll be featuring tonight.
Now you're looking at, I guarantee that's not Pedraza teeing that ball up.
I was about to ask you, Corey, that is not Pedraza. That is Yusuf Clark teeing the ball up. So Antonio Coleman goes with a slight change here. Maybe something may be amiss on the kickoff.
Nonetheless, we'll get a chance to see a threaded fastener impact player come up quick outside of his linebacker duties, kicking off as well.
Kickoff goes out of bounds. Take a look at that Vigor offense leading the Wolves on the field as quarterback Jerian Graham. Graham's a 69% passer, has 2 touchdowns and 1 interception on the season. He may play some wideout tonight as well. The Wolves attack best on the ground behind running back Carlos Benjamin. Benjamin averages 9 yards a carry with 7 scores. Making those holes up front is an offensive line that averages 278 pounds, led by left tackle Micah DeBose. Coming over from defense to play right guard tonight is Xavier Jackson, a.k.a. the Enforcer. He'll add some more athleticism to that Wolfpack line. The Wolves are -1 in the turnover ratio. That's something you talked about in your checklist tonight, Corey.
Definitely have to try to flip that over and change that script defensively for Vigor. Offensively, Al, right off the jump, we'll see how much speed is going to be here at Lab Peoples Stadium on this turf tonight for this Wolfpack program.
1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. They definitely have some speedsters. Hand off to Benjamin. He goes across midfield into the Lions territory on his first carry, almost a 20-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Vigor Wolves.
Taj Overton makes the tackle for the Williamson Lions, but not before he's able to turn the corner. Carlos Benjamin with a phenomenal run to get started this Wolfpack offense.
Ball on the 46-yard line of Williamson. Trip receivers to the bottom of the screen. Back-to-back runs for Carlos Benjamin. Picks up about 3 or 4. Goes to 2nd down for the Vigor Wolves.
Ellis McGaskin and Yusuf Clark tag teaming on that. Great replay usage as you see him bouncing around on that earlier run, Benjamin, before he's just tripped up. But positive yardage on first down early for Vigor.
2nd and 6 coming up here for the Wolves. Graham's first pass is complete. Knocked out of bounds right there. Dylan Jackson with the reception. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
His 9th reception. Now has over 34 yards on the season. Dylan Jackson, 5'8", 160-pound sophomore. Just a nice soft throw. Money down, 3rd and short here. You can look for the Wolfpack to go behind that big left side of the offensive line.
Ball's on the 37-yard line. See if they go back to Benjamin to pick it up. Little quick screen to Dylan Jackson. His knee does not go down. Let's see if his forward progress gets him to the 36. That was the line to gain. From our vantage point here, top lad, it should be close to a first down.
It's at least worth measuring for sure. I know that it's very, very close from where the ball is spotted, and they are going to have to take an official measurement on this one now.
But no, they're moving the chain, gang.
Love it.
Our white hat gives it first down, so the Wolves pick it up on a little screen right there to Dylan Jackson, continuing to move with this offense. Vigor averages on the season right now 28.7 points on offense.
And now that's one of the things Coach Cook talked to us about. Offensive coordinator KJ May stressing, take what the defense gives you.
Graham back to throw, has plenty of time. Right down the middle, but the receiver slips. That was Dylan Jackson. He slipped around the 20-yard line, incomplete.
And for the first time tonight, we see Vigor drop back and attempt an intermediate pass, maybe 10 to 12 yards. We've seen them throw a couple of check down passes to Dylan Jackson, and we'll see right here on 2nd and 10 whether they decide to go right back to their strength, which is the speed around the perimeter. If they get past the line of scrimmage and get to that 2nd level, you can go ahead and put 6 on the board.
Fake the handoff. Graham's going to keep it, comes to the near side, does get a block on the outside, but we have our first penalty flag of the contest so far.
That's going to be an easy call for the official to make there. Right on the outside by the number. It's going to be a holding call against the Wolfpack.
I believe you're right, Corey. After this call, we'll try to get up the Williamson defense. All right. And they'll walk it off right here. That defense for Williamson, the Lions play a base 3-4 with 8th grader DeMarcus Dale Brown at defensive end. In the middle, linebackers Keontae Petway and Ellis McGaskin will be tackling all over the field. Keep your eyes on number 6 outside linebacker Yusuf Clark. We've already seen him do the kickoff tonight. He's a tackling machine. In the secondary, Elijah Lucky leads an experienced group that plays hard. The Lions defensive front averages 250 pounds. 2nd and long coming up here for the Vigor Wolves.
Playing behind the sticks is something Vigor does not want or like to do here from a play calling standpoint.
Benjamin goes into motion. The heat is on. They set up the screen. Pass is juggled, but it is brought in. Picks up maybe 1 on that reception for Vigor.
Well, when you
Kelvin Brisker.
Yeah, you complete the pass. That's what's important. And Brisker plays a combination of quarterback along with wide receivers. So we'll possibly see him coming in and playing spottingly for Jerry and Graham as well. But now you're at a 3rd down and close to 17 yards to go.
That play did take a long time to develop. It was delayed, but it was a long delay. Trip receivers to the bottom. They give it to Carlos Benjamin on the quick draw. He's trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Williamson defense bows up right there, 3rd and 20.
Now, what you can decide to do if you're Coach Cook, you can flip the field right here and play the field position, which ultimately I think that's what they will do. But when you get behind schedule, down and distance-wise, it's amazing what a penalty on first and second down, how that can change a great positive drive that's been going on some 4 minutes. Now it's going to stall out close to 7 or 8 plays right there. Now Vigor's having to punt it away.
Elijah Lucky and Taj Overton back to receive this punt. Jerry and Graham will be punting for Vigor. Nice punt by Graham. Will it have a little backspin? Nope, goes into the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Williamson Lions as they run onto the field. The Lions will start A.J. Dinkins at quarterback tonight. Dinkins is a pocket passer, checking in at 6'3", but he can be a runner as needed. Running that ball for Williamson tonight is Willie Maddox. He leads the team in rushing, averaging 9 yards a carry. Leading receiver Keith Donald is a deep threat, Corey. He averages 20 yards a catch. Up front, the O-line is an experienced group with left tackle Robert McMillan checking in at 6'3" on a line that averages 265 pounds. The Lions are -8 in the turnover ratio. A lot of fumbles for the Lions so far this season. Quick handoff up the middle goes Willie Maddox for Williamson on a first down carry.
Willie Maddox, the 5'8", 167-pound junior, his 21st rush of the season, has now 185 yards. He has a couple of touchdowns, sets up 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the Lions.
Maddox just to the right of Dinkins. Steps up into the pocket, airs it out, and that ball is going to be picked off by the Vigor Wolves. Interception, our first turnover of the ball game. Try to get a name on that number 28 for the Wolves.
28 for Vigor, making that big play is free safety Brandon Coates, 5'9", 165-pound junior, coming over from his free safety position, running for the numbers, and it's essentially just a fresh set of downs, like almost Vigor continues to have it on offense, as it's just 2 plays for the Williamson Lions, then a turnover, and now it's 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack from the Lions' 23-yard line.
I formation here. Hand off to Benjamin. He picks up a nice gain, about 5 or 6. 2nd down for Vigor coming up.
Now what you will see is the changing of the quarterback. Vigor goes under center. I just mentioned moments ago, you will see Kelvin Brisker, the 6'1", 165-pound junior, come in and play for Jerry and Graham. That's the dimension that Marcus Cook and offensive coordinator KJ May like to make positive yardage on 1st down.
Ball at the 17-yard line. Back to Benjamin they go. He runs around that left edge, fighting for the end zone, stretches out. I believe he may be just short with his knee hitting right near the 1-yard line.
As we're able to look at this replay, as Vigor goes under center, you run behind the left tackle, Maka Dubose. Look at him get to the 2nd level and pancake his man, creating the explosiveness for Benjamin. Benjamin knows what to do. It hit it, 1st and goal for the Wolfpack.
Late substitution comes in for Williamson. As we are approaching 6 minutes and possibly our first heat timeout, Vigor trying to take it into the end zone.
False start.
False start flags on the field.
And really, when you look at the lead blocker for the
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense.
You gotta do heat. Those are one of those that drive you nuts, and looks like they're going to go to the heat timeout behind this as well.
We will go to the heat timeout. Take a look at our officials tonight. Jonathan King, John Hicks, Lawrence Hogues, Andrew Hudson Sr., and Scott LaForce. First dead ball under 6 minutes. We'll get the heat timeout in each one of these quarters. So it's important that they recognize and allow the kids that time to get themselves together. Let's take it down to the field. Our first check-in with Kimberly Dunn during the game.
Hey, I'm here with the principal from Williamson, Miss Tammy George. How are you doing this evening?
Well, how are you this evening?
We are doing great. Can you tell us a little bit about the exciting things going on at Williamson?
Well, currently we have several programs at Williamson that we offer our students for career and college readiness. We have the Academy Specialist programs in healthcare as well as culinary arts. We have several programs that we have embedded within the school day to help our children to make sure that they're successful academically.
And how is Williamson preparing their students for their future out of high school?
Okay, that's a part of our career and college readiness. We have several students who leave school throughout the day, and they're working with different industries to receive industry credentials. And with those industry credentials, they walk right out of Williamson into a job. Right now, we have several students who are doing manufacturing in Brooklyn Field. They are doing a phenomenal job. During our breaks, Thanksgiving and Christmas break, they are allowed to work for pay, so it's a wonderful opportunity for them. They're receiving credentials, industry credentials in welding, as well as a CNA license in nursing and the healthcare. We're partnered with several companies such as Alstom, as well as Bishop State, to help us with those credentials and dual enrollment programs.
Well, it sounds like Williamson has a lot to offer their students. Thank you so much for taking a moment to talk with us about the amazing things going on at Williamson.
Thank you so much, and we're so excited for this game and for the opportunities that we are offering our students at Williamson.
Yes, we are too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
On that previous play, Benjamin wrapped up right there by the 8th grader. DeMarcus Dale Brown just ran him down, Corey, as Benjamin trying to get into the end zone.
Coming from his defensive end position, and you went from 1st and goal from the 1 and are now backed up close to the 9-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 9, roll out from Brisker, pass incomplete. It'll take Vigor the 3rd and goal. That pass intended for DeAndre Chambers, the big tight end. So once again, the Williamson Lions defense bowing up here, trying to deny the Vigor Wolves a score.
A prime opportunity for Coach Coleman's defense, led by defensive coordinators John Mitchell and Donnell Stanley. They're giving up 17.7 points per game, but right here, and if you bog down in the red zone area, it's so much harder. I think Vigor's going to take a timeout to really talk about coming up with the best play with Coach Cook and offensive coordinator KJ May. How can they effectively, when your play calling shrinks in that red zone area, and it's a little bit tougher here, so they'll call that timeout to reevaluate.
All right, we'll take a break. Be right back.
Has a negative effect on student achievement,
and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
We are back here at Lab People's Memorial Stadium. The pressure's on the Wolves right now, 3rd and goal after a false start penalty and a quick tackle by Williamson on 2nd down. It is now 3rd down for the Wolves. Brisker decides to keep it, jumps into the air. I believe he's going to be out at the 1. Let's see where they spot him at.
He did not and was not able to stretch that football out. And it's hard to make a call as an official if you don't see that ball being stretched out. Now, we saw last night in a NFL game to where when you stretch out, the ball goes into back of the end zone, you have a touchback. So that's the last thing that you would like to happen. But Vigor now dealing with the 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Now, this was the original line of scrimmage. I'm going to say 4 plays ago, Corey. So now we're back to where we started. 4th and goal. Chambers, the lead back. They hand off to Benjamin. It was a little delayed, but he gets in. 1-yard score by Carlos Benjamin. I thought one of the Lions had tripped him up before he crossed the end zone.
He stretched out and was able to get across that end zone. You look going along your left side, no doubt in my mind that they were going to go to Carlos Benjamin, going behind big 6'5", 200-pound 300-pound junior Micah Dubose, along with the left guard Barnes. Center Ruck Tucker does a great job, and the point after pending.
Brisker on for the PAT, and it is blocked on the season. Vigor 6 of 9 on extra points, but they do get 6 points with the 1-yard score from Carlos Benjamin.
It's your time, it's your season, and you are made for more. More confidence, more style, and more bling. The Genuine Bling is here to deliver you more bling and more fashion. With new styles added daily, you can shop anytime and look fabulous. Join me, Charmaine Watson, on the $5 Frenzy every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. It's cute, it's fabulous, it's fashionable, it's $5, it's paparazzi.
Vigor's on top 6-0 here in the first quarter of a big 5A Region 1 matchup. Corey, we was just discussing, we think Benjamin may have gotten in there by the hair of his chin, because that was close.
4th down and goal to go. Vigor did it the hard way, not the easy way, for sure, because you mentioned on 1st down, they were already at the 1-yard line.
And that drive started on the 23-yard line after an interception by Brandon Coates of A.J. Dinkins. 2 minutes and 25 seconds go off the clock. 1-yard touchdown run by Carlos Benjamin. Kickoff taken by one of the up guys. No, it's going to go out of bounds, so we'll get a legal procedure penalty called against the Wolves. We'll see if we have the re-kick here. They'll penalize them 5 yards and try it again. Or will Coach Coleman take the yardage and come on out?
You might as well go ahead and say, look, let's attack this thing at the 35-yard line to begin this second drive. That the offense was only on the field for maybe 2 plays before that interception was thrown.
On offense, re-kick.
So we are going to re-kick.
So what you'll do here is give your returners an opportunity, if the ball does not go out of bounds again, to try to get in the lanes and create something positive in great field position. But we knew coming in, when we looked at the statistics of both Vigor and Williamson, that we're going to get a steady and heavy dose of running of the football on both ends. You've already seen when Vigor's try to throw it, it's been real short line of scrimmage passes, bubble screens, or what have not a lot of deep passes that are going to be connected by either one of these programs.
Jerry and Graham kicking off for the Wolves. Elijah Lucky on the move. Nice return by Lucky. Williamson going to start off with great field position here with their second possession of the first quarter at the 4:35 mark. Placing the ball just near the midfield stripe.
Well, we'll see how this Vigor defense responds after creating a turnover. And Williamson just has to be patient with Mr. Alvin Dinkins, 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. We'll see here, this running back has a lot of speed. McGaskin and Maddox also.
And off to Maddox. He is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss. Coming up 2nd and 11 for the Lions.
Emmanuel Gales, 5'11", 185-pound freshman, making a difference. Tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11 now, upcoming for Williamson.
Dinkins taking his time, looking to the sideline. Handoff once again to Maddox. Up the middle he goes, just past the 50-yard line. Picks up about 4 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and long coming up here for the Williamson Lions.
Not an ideal down and distance situation for Williamson, as Jeremiah Coleman, the 6', 245-pound senior, makes the stop on the play. Now you're looking right at 3rd down and 8 yards to go at the Wolfpack 48-yard line. You really need to sustain this drive to go ahead and give your defense a nice little rest here if you're Williamson.
That defense has been on the field a lot tonight. Maddox Flashes out to the top. Trip receivers at the top. Dinkins back to throw.
And the second pick.
And that pass is picked off. And I believe that's Brandon Coates once again, Corey.
It is. He hits what he needs to hit right there for the Vigor Wolves. And I mentioned the struggling throwing of Williamson, and you put him behind the sticks. Dinkins drops back and throws it right to Brandon Coates.
Sure does.
And that's his second interception of the contest, a 5'9", 165-pound junior with a huge interception.
So we've already had points off turnovers tonight, and Vigor looking to possibly do that again on another interception by Brandon Coates. I don't know, Corey, maybe I should have made him one of the spotlight players for tonight.
Well, look,
wow.
If he wasn't, he's definitely stepped up to the spotlight. The young man with 2 interceptions to start the game. Again, the junior is making himself known, the Wolfpack on the attack.
Brisker still in, high snap, fumble. Brisker jumps down on it. Man, that could have been disaster for Vigor. Takes about a 4-yard loss, pushes them back to the 25-yard line.
Giving it right back to Williamson would have been horrible if you're this Wolfpack offense. And, you know, I love it when, you know, former players are watching the game. Of course, we have Jamarcus Russell on the sidelines coaching for the Williamson Lions, but Jalston Fowler also watching tonight, the former All-American running back for the Vigor Wolves.
Speaking of running back, they give it to Carlos Benjamin. He picks up a couple. Nice gain, about 6 or 7. Gets Vigor out of the hole right there. Brings up a decent 3rd and about 6 here for the Wolves.
Well, if you're the Wolfpack, you've had success with your bootlegs, just trying to extend the play with Brisker scrambling outside of the pocket, trying to let the receivers run some great routes coming back to the football. But here on 3rd down and close to 7 yards to go, we'll see if Mr. Benjamin gets it or whether Brisker will be able to survey Graham as well as a tremendous wide receiver.
The line of gain is the 38. Brisker rolls out the pocket, has some heat, airs it out. Had it and dropped it. Chris Perry wide open. The moon pie falls right through his arms.
Was not able to squeeze the pigskin. I guess it was a little too greasy because Christopher Perry, the 5'9", 180-pound senior, was wide open, and he just was not able to put his hands together and squeeze that. That's one that I know he would love to have back, and so would all the Vigor fans. But nonetheless, now Vigor will punt the football away, so that turnover, the second turnover that Williamson has had, has not costed them any points yet.
Approaching 90 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Graham back to punt. Low snap, a worm burner, but he gets off a nice punt. Williamson's going to stay away from it, yelling, Peter, Peter, Peter. It goes out of bounds near the 34-yard line. So Graham definitely made something out of nothing with that worm burner. They snap back to him. Williamson gets the ball for their 3rd time on their previous 2 series. 2 interceptions thrown by A.J. Dinkins tonight. And the recipient of both of them, the same guy, Brandon Coates, Johnny on the spot, definitely improving his huddle highlight film, Corey.
Absolutely. That's all you can ask for in this situation, is to find ways to get positive plays for your team. And now, if you're this Williamson offense led by offensive coordinator Jamal Henry, Williamson comes in averaging 21 points per game, and it's going to be vital and critical that they get some type of offensive momentum to at least establish a couple of first downs here as we get ready to end the first quarter.
Antonio Coleman sticking with the sophomore, and he calls a timeout. So we have a timeout on the field called by Williamson. We'll take a break and be right back. Vigor on top, 6-0.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpsss.tv. www.mcpss.com.
The MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Firehouse Subs. Make sure you enjoy more subs while you save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel and the crew at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Also, BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to volleyball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. Got to thank Firehouse Subs and BSN Sports, proud sponsors of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 1st and 10, ball at the 35. A little bunch set formation for Williamson. Nice run right there by Travius Martin. Take a look at this Vigor defense. The Wolves play a 4-2-5 as all-state selection star linebacker Brandon Purefoy. He'll be roaming the field. He leads the team in tackles and has 2 interceptions on the season. Right now, Brandon Coach just tied him with that. He'll get help from quarterback Kevin Malone, who will patrol the secondary and play a little offense tonight as well. Defensive tackle Jake Lang slides over from defensive end to clog up the middle and close the gaps. The Wolves' defense is quick and averages 222 pounds across the line, and we can see that quickness tonight with those 2 interceptions I just referenced by Brandon Coates. And they stand up right there. Maybe the progress may give the first down to Martin Core.
Travius Martin, 5'8", 170-pound, 8th grader, toting the pigskin for the Williamson Lions, tackled by Jake Lang, the 5'10", 218-pound senior. And it's important to know when you establish that first down, it makes a world of difference. Now what you have to do is to go ahead and find back-to-back positive plays to where you can continue to move those sticks and let your defense rest.
Another run by Martin. I think the ball came out. Ball's on the carpet, but that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. An interesting first quarter. Vigor on top 6-0. That's going to wrap it up. We'll be back with second quarter action. Don't you move. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi. Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you? Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Take a look at first quarter stats here from the ball game tonight. Look at that rushing by Vigor, 59 yards. Only 5 yards passing, no surprise there, but Corey, no passing yards. Both of the passes intercepted by Vigor tonight, leading to the 2 turnovers.
The 2 turnovers are what is the difference so far here, and kind of surprising that our score is just 6-0 looking at those turnovers, but both teams still punching at one another. We expected a heavyweight fight. That's exactly what we're getting out of these 2 5A Region 1 competitors, and we saw a low-scoring contest 1 year ago. I do believe the final score was 6-0.
That was the score last year.
A
You're
year
right,
ago.
Corey.
So nothing new to that score for both of these fan bases, but we're about to start the second quarter of action with Williamson having some positive momentum moving their direction, and I know that's just what offensive coordinator Jamal Henry needs, is for them to go ahead and find some momentum for this young quarterback, Mr. Dinkins, and the more success he can find by finding Torian Nettles or Keith Donald or Elijah Lucky, all it's going to take is a couple of completions for his confidence to continue to increase and to put those 2 interceptions behind him.
1st and 10, ball on the 49. Maddox back into the ball game. Boy, he is met right there. Was that Jake Lane or Ja Lane, Corey?
It was definitely number 11.
Wow.
Ja Lang from his middle linebacker position, 5'10", 190-pound senior, makes his 19th solo tackle of the season, and he does so with authority.
Greetings, Mr. Maddox, from Mr. Lane. Wow. Second down, about 8 yards coming up, 2-yard gain. Correction, third down. You're right about that, Corey. Ladd tricked me with the scoreboard. We don't have a PA announcer tonight, so I can't cheat, Corey.
I understand.
Dinkins back to throw. Heat is on him. Pass is completed. A shoestring grab by the Lions. Chased out of bounds.
And 15 yards to that as well.
Keith Donald with the reception. We told you he averages about 20 yards a catch, and you can see what he does with those yards after catch, and they're going to tack on some more.
Well, if you look at the composure shown by Keith Donald, I just mentioned moments ago, that's who you have to go to, your comfort blanket. Great job of climbing the pocket by Dinkins, and the juggle doesn't matter because he still was able to keep his composure. That's his 8th reception for over 170 yards now, and that's positive momentum that the Williamson Lions needed.
It's over. Got a personal foul on defense.
And unfortunately, I don't want to call him out, but we've talked about him in such a positive manner tonight.
Personal foul on defense. He's going to play first down.
I think that might have been Brandon Coates with the extra agility there, Corey.
He'll get a little bit of a pass there because he does have 2 interceptions on the night, and having 2 interceptions on the night is huge for him, but now it's huge for Williamson to be able to capitalize as they are getting near the red zone area.
Knocking on the door at the 21. They give it to Maddox. He climbs into the red zone. Stopped at about the 15. Nice run right there by Walt Maddox.
And that's exactly what you have to have. Nice push, creating a hole in the offensive line and getting to that second level, the linebacker level of this Wolfpack defense. And now you're creating a second down and 4 yards to go in the red zone area right at Vigor's 15-yard line.
I got to correct myself. That's Willie Maddox. I think Walt Maddox is a state politician here in Alabama. Quick handoff. Fumble on the ground. Is that Brandon Coates near?
He is definitely Johnny on the spot, and it looks like Williamson is able to maintain, but Coates was at the bottom of that pile, and the pigskin was loose, and it would have been critical. It would have been crucial for Vigor to have come away with a stop easily off of creating another turnover, but Williamson, when you look at this, boy, oh boy, did they catch a break right there.
Keontae Petway gives up the rock, but they fall back on top of it. They do pick up the first down inside of the red zone. Ball's at the 9-yard line, so it benefits the Lion.
Full house.
Direct snap. Trying to draw the Wolves off sides.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense.
I think the Lions may have out-thunked themselves on that one, Corey.
Yeah, and we've seen both teams inside the red zone area commit false starts, and those are drive killers. You don't want to have those drive killers inside the red zone area. You've worked so hard to get down there, and now what you've done is cost yourself 5, and you're looking at a situation 1st and goal now from right at the 14-yard line.
Back to the same formation. Yusuf Clark goes into motion. Direct snap. A flag comes out. Ellis McGaskin on the carry, but the flag came out possibly near the area of holding, I believe.
So much youth on this Williamson roster. McGaskin, the 6'1", 175-pound freshman, as he was able to go ahead and burst through, and we'll see if it was because of holding.
Holding on the offense.
So this particular play was 1st and 15. That's going to push it back now. I'm sorry, Corey, that was, first and goal. So now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 19. So that's 15 yards in penalties.
right at the 24-yard line now of the Wolfpack, and you're going in the wrong direction. That sound you hear is one that's going in reverse for Williamson. They need to put it in drive and find a way to go ahead and get to that end zone.
I think Antonio Coleman's going to use his second timeout. We'll take a break and be right back. Vigor on top 6-0. Williamson trying to drive and get some points.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal.
We return to action here at Lab Peoples Memorial Stadium. Al Wheaton, Corey LeBounty on the call. Down on the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn, bringing you 5A Region 1 action. Both of these teams undefeated in region play. Vigor on top 6-0. It is first and goal from the 24-yard line after 2 penalties back-to-back by the Lions. They hand off to Willie Maddox. And he is tackled for a loss. Just a gang tackle right there, Corey.
It was, and you look at Emmanuel Gale's helmet comes flying off as he tries to make the tackle, but was smart enough not to continue with his play, or there would have been a flag for illegal participation against the Wolfpack. But once again, second down and goal to go from the Wolfpack 28-yard line.
Not very often when I'm writing down the yardage markers, the numbers go down as they get. Now my numbers are going back up as I'm jotting down the line of scrimmage, Corey. This is something else, man. They're at the 28-yard line.
Going the wrong way for certain, as 15 seconds left on the play clock, so plenty of time to get your play in and do what you need to do from offensive coordinator Jamal Henry's standpoint. Probably take the snap right at 1 second remaining, or take the timeout to reevaluate.
Play clock is at 0. I think Antonio Coleman is livid on the sideline as he has to burn his last time out. But as our good buddy Rico Jackson at Murphy says, what's the use of keeping him in my pocket? So got a break right here. So I want to tell you about a great program happening throughout the state of Alabama now. Going on in Mobile County, girls flag football is now a sanctioned sport by the Alabama High School Athletic Association. 8 Mobile County public high schools are fielding flag football teams for the first time this year, and several of them played their first game this past Tuesday. Here are some of the highlights. And Corey, as I go to the different schools during the week, I'll see on the television screens the graphic. They'll say, you know, LaFleur or Vigor, and they'll list the girls who are on the team. I think this is a great idea done by the state of Alabama.
Seen a couple of years ago the first ever state championship flag football game, and it's now worked its way on down to the Mobile County public school system. A lot of excitement from these young ladies having fun, getting an opportunity to experience flag football for the first time.
I know a young lady sitting not too far from me, you know, talking about being a coach all the time, Corey. May have some inroads here. You know, I may have to talk to one of the ADs at the school, say, you know, Chandler Powell, she wants to be a coach. Second down and goal. Dinkins is just flagged down and taken down near approaching the 20-yard line. It'll be third and goal coming up here for the Lions.
Amari Lofton, 6'4", 240-pound junior, coming up and making the stop from his defensive end position, but a tough category here. Third and goal from outside of the red zone area is something that you don't see too often in the game of football, but we're seeing it right here for sure.
Ball sitting at the 22-yard line. Third down. And one thing I will say this too, Corey, this has been a long series here for Williamson. It has definitely given their defense the rest that they needed, though. Dinkins under attack. Ball just goes up in the air, caught by Keith Donald. That was a live ball.
Look at the pressure on the quarterback, though. It was almost an interception because he really was not able to plant and get any air underneath this football as Lane comes untouched on the blitz, and he's lucky Keith Donald was able to get both hands on that football as we're getting ready to approach the 6-minute heat timeout here if they decide to go ahead and acknowledge it at this time.
I believe they are. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today and leading tomorrow. And boy, we get that replay back up. One of the Lane brothers in there, he definitely led right there, Cora.
Jake Lane untouched, and as soon as the quarterback turns around, he gets leveled. But when you come untouched, you want to make sure that you bring the thunder, and that's what he did. Didn't get a chance to even go through his reads, put any air underneath that football. It was almost like an air ball shot if you're shooting a jump shot in basketball, but not able to plant his foot, and because of it, you're looking at 4th and goal, again, from the 27-yard line. So if you're going to throw the pass here, go ahead and throw it into the end zone, make it a jump ball, so where if it's a turnover, it's going to come to the 20 anyway.
Statistician Matt Moore says this is Williamson's 10th play. Pass complete, no. Tip drill, intercepted by Vigor. Brandon Purifoy, and it's almost like a ball over on downs, but it counts as a turnover, the 3rd one of the night.
What it does is it pads your stats if you're Brandon Purifoy, and it is the 3rd interception of the contest. So defensively it pads your stats. Offensively it doesn't look great for the QB. But when you have that type of pressure on the quarterback, and I know that there was not as much pressure on him that time as there was when Lane comes uninterrupted, but the tip drill, great communication, Vigor takes over.
Vigor's first possession at 5:55 here in the 2nd quarter. Carlos Benjamin trying to get away from the Lions, and he is tackled for a big loss.
Tremarcus Petway comes in and makes a huge stop behind the line of scrimmage, one that was desperately needed. Now, it does put Vigor in 2nd down and 11 yards to go. Give it back to Mr. Benjamin. See what he's able to do. See if he's able to get himself established here offensively, running the football, as he had a tremendous game 1 week ago.
Sure did. That was a big win for Vigor. They had to come back 27 points down to Citronelle. Kelvin Brisker trying to weasel his way out of trouble, but no, he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. So the Lions defense holding once again, 3rd and long coming up for Vigor.
I love the ferociousness of this Williamson Lions defense, showing that they are hungry to get home, to get to the quarterback. Brisker, that clock went off in his head and he didn't have anywhere to go, and this Lions defense said no gain on the play. 3rd down and 11 yards to go.
Trip receivers to the top. They fake the handoff, little play action. Brisker's going to get rid of it, just throws it away. He did have a receiver nearby. I don't believe that was actually intended for Jamez Montgomery because the heat was on Brisker at that moment.
Great defensive series by this Williamson Lions defense, and they rose up to the occasion, making sure Vigor was not able to gain any positive momentum offensively after that tip drill interception. And just like that, without a minute and a half elapsing off the clock, this Williamson Lion offense should get the ball right back close to midfield or maybe even in Wolves territory.
So Brisker was in at quarterback. Now Jarian Graham's going to come in. Nice snap. Gets the punt. Kind of up and down. Almost shanks it off of his right foot. It goes backwards. Not what you want if you're Vigor. Ball's going to be placed at the 28-yard line. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge returns. Kimberly Dunn goes into the stands and will select a fan and ask them a trivia question. See if they'll be the big winner tonight for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. And the chain game keeps walking, Corey. They're going to spot this at the 28. Awesome field position for Williamson. You couldn't ask for anything better right now.
Well, you're almost right where you were in your prior offensive possession, where it wound up being 1st and goal from the 27-yard line. And now you do take over at the Wolfpack 28. You have a chance. You're only trailing 6-0, so no need to force it offensively.
Willie Maddox with the carry. Up the middle he goes, just past the 25-yard line. Run of about 4 or 5, so 2nd down coming up for the Lions.
I've seen more helmets come off tonight than
right.
I have the entire season. That's probably the 4th helmet I've seen roll across the carpet here at Lad Peoples Stadium.
One thing I have noticed tonight, Corey, that's odd, haven't had much band play between the two bands tonight. Not too much action. 2nd down and 5. Dinkins has plenty of time. Oh, Keith Donald climbs the ladder into the red zone, completed. 1st down coming up for Williamson. Nice pass by Dinkins to Donald.
Love Dinkins just sticking with it. Throw the 3 interceptions out the window. You've got someone by the name of Jamarcus Russell over there coaching you up, saying, look, just make the next throw. He was able to throw that on the money to Donald, and now they're in the red zone area. 1st and goal to go from the Wolfpack 8. We saw this moments ago. We'll see if they're able to punch it in here.
That same formation, Ellis McGaskin, they snapped it to him. Big Micah Debo's in on defense as he comes across the line. Let's see if he was drawn off or if it was a false start.
Well, when you're not used to being on the defensive line, it makes a difference.
Encroachment on the defense.
That's a free 5, so that'll push it up to the 3-yard line as the Georgia commits the mental error.
He's used to knowing what the snap count is, not anticipating what the snap count may be.
The Williamson Lions cheerleaders getting excited, riling up the crowd. 1st and goal from the 3. Expect that direct snap to Ellis McGaskin. And expect a possible false start, just like the last time with Sears when they had it, Corey. Here's a shot of the former #1 draft pick by the Raiders, Jamarcus Russell, a former Mr. Alabama, Corey.
Absolutely, Mr. Football.
Mr. Football in the state of Alabama.
Mr. Football in the state of Alabama, and goes on to have a tremendous career at LSU. And you look at what he's able, the knowledge he's able to bring back to his alma mater. It's so valuable, especially for a young man who's trying to battle through, already throwing 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
You've had bad nights at the office, but he's continuing to fight away. Nice passes on this drive here by Mr. Dinkins, and we'll see if they're able to not go in reverse here.
They bring Dinkins in. They fake the handoff to Maddox. Pass complete. Ball was at the 9-yard line. Going to be 2nd and goal coming up. Jadrian Clipper with that reception.
And Brandon Purifoy on the tackle. Now we're right at 1:40 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of action. The Lions in the red zone area looking to try to get 6 on the board. Cannot pick up a 1st down because it is 2nd down and goal to go.
Hand off to Ellis McGaskin as they bring him in at running back. Vigor's defense starting to bow up. 3rd and goal coming up. Williamson creeping closer to the goal line.
Jake Lang, the 5'10", 218-pound senior defensive end on the stop. And we're right at 1 minute remaining here in the first half of action of this critical 5A Region 1 matchup.
3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Antonio Coleman is out of timeouts. Trip receivers to the top. Dinkins goes up the middle. gets close to the 5-yard line. Williamson cannot stop the clock, Corey. We're under 45 seconds here. 4th and goal coming up for Williamson. So it's do or die time right here for the Lions.
Huge stop for Amari Lofton, 6'4", 240-pound junior, and offensive coordinator Jamal Henry has to come away with his best play call available here, as it's instrumental, and they have to have a score here going into the half.
About a second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Clipper runs onto the field with less than 10 seconds, lines up at tight end. Dinkins has room. He has room. And he is going to be stopped. No, stripped. Stripped by the Vigor Wolves.
He's gone.
The can opener drill, as you like to call it, Corey, right about at the 3-yard line.
He's gone.
Brandon Purifoy, I believe, takes it to the house for the Vigor Wolves.
Stood straight up on what a turn of events, folks.
Wow.
As the half ends.
0 seconds on the clock.
And
no flag.
I see no penalty flags, but what a heads up by our threaded fasteners impact player of the game. You look at this check down here, and quarterback looking, he decides to go ahead and run it and just rip it away. Purifoy decides to take it right at the 2 or 3 yard line. 98 yards later, he almost gets called for a celebration penalty, but the officials keep it in their pocket. He has a convoy of white jerseys. He turns it into 6, so the Wolfpack, they go ahead and turn this game upside down.
Wow.
What a turn of events.
Unbelievable. Marcus Cook has called timeout to talk to his guys and calm them down. You would have never saw that one coming. As you like to say it, Corey, that can opener drill just ripped it right out of the hands of Dinkins and took it to the house, 97 yards.
I can't say enough about Brandon Purifoy. The young man is verbally committed to Mississippi Valley State. But when I tell you that Brandon Purifoy, he has led this team in tackles since he's been a freshman. You see his heads up and his canny ability to one-on-one, just straight rip it away. And was his knee down? Was it not? That's debatable.
We don't have instant replay here at Ladd, Corey.
It's still one of those situations to where even if he wouldn't have taken it away, he would not have gotten in. But Purifoy, the senior, comes in with 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery taken to the house. He already has 1 interception for a touchdown. Now make that 1 taken to the house also off of a fumble recovery.
Wolves going for 2. Just throwing it up to the back corner, Kelvin Brisker, and that's going to take us to halftime. What a turn of events. Just when we thought Williamson was trying to punch it in, Brandon Purifoy comes up, doesn't punch it out. He steals it with the can opener drill, Corey. Unbelievable. And just like that, instead of 6-0, the score is 12-0 Vigor.
Huge turn of events here at Ladd Peoples Stadium, man. Credit to this Williamson offense for getting into the red zone area twice here in the first half. But even more credit due to this Vigor defense, who's allowed 0 points
Pitching
in
a
the
shutout.
red zone area and finding a way to stop him. Now, whether his knee was down or not, that's not going to matter, because at the end of the day, it still would have been 6-0 had they made that stop.
And it would have been ball over on downs, because that was 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. So it didn't make a difference at that point.
Time would have elapsed. There would have been no time remaining in the first half of action. But again, Williamson's going to say, look, we've had 4 turnovers in the first half of action and are still only trailing 12-0. Vigor's going to say, look, we've allowed Williamson into the red zone area, and it could easily be 12-6 in favor of Williamson. So Coach Cook's going to go clean things up here for his team. From a penalty standpoint, both teams have gone into the red zone area and shot themselves in the foot and had drive killers in the red zone area.
Really have 4 turnovers committed by Williamson. An unbelievable turn of events right there. It is 12-0 with Vigor on top. And Kimberly Dunn is with Coach Marcus Cook right now.
Coach Cook, you were talking about it on the way over here. You were saying it over and over. Horrible first half. What's going on? What adjustments are y'all needing to make?
Clean up the penalties. Too many penalties. Too many you know, just too much. Personal foul penalties. I just don't like the first half at all.
Now, I know I want to kind of make this a little bit lighthearted. Y'all just came away with another touchdown. What did that play mean for the momentum of your team and hopefully going into the rest of this game?
It was a great play. Defense came up with a stop. Brandon was able to take the ball and go score. But it's a whole new half. That team is ready to fight and play football, so that's what we're going to do. So right now we're going in 0-0. That's how we're going to look at it. And we got to play better football. That was not acceptable.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Cook. I'll let you get with your team.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. It is halftime. Vigor's on top 12-0. Let's take it down and listen to the Wolfpack band. Sounds of the Vigor marching wolves heading off the field. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge.
We're here with our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, and I have the cutest guest with me today. Can you tell me your name and where you go to school?
My name is Chloe Blackman. I go to school at Maryville Elementary School, and I'm cheering for Maryville Elementary tonight.
My name is Paris, and I'm cheering for my name is Paris, and I go to Maryville Elementary School, and I'm cheering for Maryville Elementary School.
Great job. Do y'all come to all of the games for Williamson?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Well, are you ready for our Chick-fil-A question tonight? Okay, ready or not, here we go. The question is, which inventor is responsible for developing the telephone? Okay, and here are your choices. Is it A, Alexander Graham Bell, B, Thomas Edison, C, George Washington Carver, or D, Benjamin Franklin? All right, so which one do you think it is? Who invented the telephone? A, B, C, or D?
I think it's C.
C, you say George Washington Carver. Who do you think?
C2.
You say C2? That is not correct. You want to try to guess again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look again. So now we've got either Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, or Benjamin Franklin. Which one? A, B, or D? Which one do you think?
I think it's B.
B? What do you think?
B.
B? No, it's not B. You were so close that time, though. All right, so close. So it's either A, Alexander Graham Bell, or D, Benjamin Franklin. All right, you want to say it together?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
A.
There we go. The correct answer is Alexander Graham Bell, and there's your prize pack. It's got, yes, both of you. You've got some Chick-fil-A gift cards and some Mobile County goodies. So thank y'all so much. Y'all look at everybody and say goodbye.
Great job, Kimberly. The Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. We always have a winner. Coming up, the Williamson Marching Lions about to take the field. Don't move. It's headed your way. Halftime for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
It's your time, it's your season, and you are made for more. More confidence, more style, and more bling. The Genuine Bling is here to deliver you more bling and more fashion. With new styles added daily, you can shop anytime and look fabulous. Join me, Charmaine Watson, on the $5 Frenzy every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. It's cute, it's fabulous, it's fashionable, it's $5, it's paparazzi.
Let's take it down to the field and listen to the mighty Williamson Marching Lions. The Williamson Lions mighty marching band coming off the field with that cold-hearted snake, Corey.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a cold-hearted first half.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of the Williamson Lions in regards to them getting into the red zone area and freezing themselves out essentially with penalties and false starts and not being able to capitalize getting down to the 1 yard line. But those adjustments by Antonio Coleman at halftime will be made, and given the opportunity in the second half to get into the red zone, I think we'll see a different half.
Let's take a look at first half stats so far during this ball game, and it truly tells the story. Not 3 turnovers, actually 4 turnovers committed by Williamson, with that fumble turned over into a 97-yard touchdown run by Brandon Purifoy. But, I mean, Corey, if you look at the numbers from the total yards to the top, looks pretty balanced on both teams.
If you love offensive production, you've come to the wrong game tonight. That's for sure, because one thing we're not going to see is an offensive shootout. Williamson comes in averaging 21 points per game, and Vigor comes in averaging 28.7 points per game.
Right.
I'm not quite sure either one of the teams will reach their offensive output, but when you look at the total yardage, 64 for Vigor and 66 for Williamson, the penalties are mirroring one another. The only thing that really isn't equating to being equal is that of the scoreboard.
You're right about that. 12-0 Vigor on top. Matter of fact, let's put up our spotlight players for the ball game tonight. Hadn't had a chance because the game has been flowing so out of control tonight, but these two fellas, we are spotlighting them tonight in their performance for Vigor and for Williamson. I know for Vigor, our spotlight player, Carlos Benjamin, the running back tonight, 9 carries so far tonight, only 1 touchdown, Corey, and Taj Overton, 1 tackle so far tonight for the Lions. That defense has been pretty stingy for them, though.
Absolutely, it's been stingy. It's been stingy on both halves, and again, we're looking at a game that could easily be 6-0 instead of 12-0. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that the final score to Williamson and Vigor 1 year ago was 6-0, and that's exactly where we were moments before the end of the second quarter of action.
Right now, score 12-0, halftime about to wrap up. We're going to take a break, come back, give you that second half, plus we'll revisit Corey's checklist on the other side of this break. Don't move, you're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty on the field, Kimberly Dunn. Vigor in control, 12-0 right now as we get ready to start the third quarter. And I can see Kimberly Dunn approaching the camera with head coach Antonio Coleman. I can only imagine what he's about to share with us, Corey.
Yeah, it was explosive in the locker room for sure, and I know he'll share his thoughts right now.
Let's take it down to Kimberly Dunn. She's with Antonio Coleman.
Before the game started, we talked about how your team needed to be able to eliminate penalties. What did you talk to your team about during this halftime to hopefully help that happen?
Defensively, the defense is keeping us in the game.
Offensively, we're killing ourselves. You know, we give up 12 points off 2 turnovers. We can't do that. When in the red zone, we got to score. All right, we can't go backwards.
Coach Cook, he said he's playing this game like it's 0-0. He said that he knows that y'all still have a lot of fight, that you could potentially come away with the win. So what did you say to your team to motivate them?
It's nothing to motivate. The scoreboard should motivate you. I don't have no rah-rah speech. I don't have any of that. All right, get out here and play football. That's it.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you get with your team.
Thank you, Kimberly. Speaking of a rah-rah speech, not much of a rah-rah voice there. I think he may have used it in the locker room, Corey.
Hey, Coach Coleman's just going to give it all to his team at halftime, asking them to lay it all on the line like his voice has been laid on the line. And he mentioned it, the effort by the offense in the red zone area is where they must change things. And if you're able to put points on the board, the defense can only hold you for so long. A phenomenal job by the defense holding this and limiting this explosive and quick Vigor offense. And I know that when we go back and take a look at the checklist for Williamson High School, what did they have to do? They had to make a Wolfpack wall. They've been able to really do that so far with this running explosiveness of Vigor. They need to lower the Lion penalties. They were not able to do that in the first half, and they need to win the special teams phases where they haven't had an opportunity to really have special team phases because of the interceptions and the turnovers. And when you look at Vigor, they needed to run with the pack. We saw Carlos Benjamin at the beginning of the game bust off a big one, and we know he is due to get loose from the line of scrimmage. You needed to win the turnover battle. Well, you can check that off with 3 or 4 checks, as a matter of fact, for Vigor. And then you needed to start fast and finish stronger. Well, the Wolfpack got off to a strong start. They need to finish this game with a couple of more scores here. If you're Marcus Cook, clean things up offensively. Let your playmakers, Carlos Benjamin, Jerry and Graham, really get some touches and get involved.
Williamson will be receiving the second half kickoff. Jerry and Graham heads out to the field, line it up on the tee, followed by his teammates. Williamson dressing out about 55 players tonight. They have 6 seniors on this squad and returning 6 on offense and 9 on defense. Vigor dressing out about 72 tonight. They have 15 seniors on the team, returning 10 on offense and 8 on defense. Kickoff taken up to the 30-yard line by Elijah Lucky. So it'll be 1st and 10 coming up here for the Lions.
You know, I want to definitely give a shout out here before we start the second half to the custodial coordinator in the custodial program, Mr. Norma Kenner. Ms. Norma Kenner does a tremendous job along with her staff here at Lab People Stadium. Corey Dawson, Marquis Clark, Chantel Williams, Trina, and Joanne, making sure everything's kept organized and straight here at Lab People Stadium. Thank you so much, Ms. Norma Kenner. I'm going to give her a shout out, the custodial coordinator here at the central office in Mobile County Public Schools.
I'll second that one with you, Corey. Lucky comes onto the field late here for the Williamson Lions. Play clock under 10 seconds.
I really hope that Williamson didn't have to call a timeout.
I hope so.
Illegal substitution.
So they get flagged for that substitution, bringing Lucky in. So that'll push him back to the 25-yard line. Another uncostly penalty right there for the Lions. Speaking of shout-outs, got to shout out one of my besties out in Houston, my man Mark the Shark Fisher, watching us, checking out the action. Corey told me to tell you what's up.
I love it. I love it when we have everyone tuned in, whether it's on the cable television or on the social media platforms that the Mobile County Public School System provides. What a phenomenal job our crew here does week in and week out, bringing high-definition high school football to you every Thursday and Friday night.
Second down coming up here for the Lions. That run from Maddox, no gain on the play. 2nd and 15 is the call. Dinkins still in the ball game under center. 4 turnovers committed by the Lions. Maddox once again as he breaks up past the 30-yard line.
That's one of the best runs by Willie Maddox, the 5'8", 167-pound junior. Great clean handoff. You see him keeping the ball high and tight to his body. And a good tackle in the secondary by Cornelius Pearson, the 6'1", 171-pound senior.
Back to Maddox they go again. They keep feeding the beast as he plows forward for about 2 more yards. It'll be 4th and about 4 coming up here for the Lions.
And this is a critical move here for the Williamson Lions, because if you decide to give up this field position by going for it and try to get a little momentum on 4th and 3rd, it's early in the 3rd quarter and you're going to give up huge chunks of real estate from a field position standpoint.
Corey, I know I'm getting up in the age, but if I recollect, this may be the first punt by Williamson tonight.
Yeah, first time they're having an opportunity to put toe to leather. And you're in a situation here where if you're Vigor, you want to get a chance to show the explosiveness and speed that we've seen and we've talked about since the opening game against the Matty T. Blunt Leopards.
Timeout called by Williamson. We'll take a break and be right back.
That missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement,
and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Got to thank BSN Sports for being one of our sponsors tonight for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. If you're looking for team apparel, hit up BSN Sports. From baseball to cross country, they've got you covered online at bsnsports.com. Also, thanks to Firehouse Subs. If you want to enjoy more subs and save more lives at the same time, a portion of your subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Visit our friends at the Greenlight Road location, thanks to BSN and Firehouse Subs, helping put on the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 4th down coming up here for Williamson, looking to punt. Yusuf Clark, high snap, puts it straight up, and it comes out of bounds near the 40, maybe 43. They're walking it off. Official still walking, getting closer to the midfield stripe, right next to Antonio Coleman. I believe they're going to mark it at the 49-yard line of Vigor.
Now what you're asking your defense to do, if your defensive coordinators John Mitchell and Donnell Stanley, is to please find a way to continue to hold on until we can get our offense some type of spark, some type of jolt going here. But Vigor is saying, no, we're going to go ahead and push it down your throat and go 50 yards and get 6 points on the board.
Hand off to Carlos Benjamin, one of our spotlight players tonight, as he pushes it up toward the 45-yard line into Lions territory.
You can expect to get a steady dose of Mr. Carlos Benjamin here in the second half. Jadrian Clipper on the tackle for the Williamson Lions, and anytime you're able to pick up 5 and 6 yards on first down, we'll see if this Williamson Lions defense wears down on this 50-yard drive.
Back to Benjamin they go, and Corey, once again, helmets flying off everywhere. Two players lose their helmet on that play.
Yeah, I haven't seen this many helmets come.
Neither have I.
That's about 6 helmets. You just need to tighten up that chin strap a little bit tighter, but now it is going to be a 3rd down and 1 yard to go, and this big offensive line led by 5-star left tackle Micah Dubose, 300-pound junior. Mr. Barnes, Mr. Tucker, Mr. Jackson, and Mr. Brown round up that offensive line.
Defensive coordinator for Davidson upset. John Mitchell and Donnell Stanley. Offsides encroachment.
Resulting in 1st down.
that just basically gives Vigor the first down with the free 5 yards.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate there for Williamson to have an opportunity to give Vigor a long 4th down situation, but Mr. Petway gets a little bit too anxious and has one of those unforced error penalties that is going to give Vigor a fresh set of downs. But as I mentioned earlier, now you're looking at Brisker getting ready to run the show.
Ball at the 37-yard line. Speaking of running, Carlos Benjamin running. Young fellow we spotted before the ball game, Corey, during that Vigor Blunt game, looking across the field, I see Ja'Cory Barnes. He went out with the injury during that first ball game, and we kind of just saw Benjamin start and just took over that Vigor Blunt game.
Holding on the offense.
You absolutely hate to see anyone go down and lose an entire season, especially their senior year, coming in to a rivalry game the way Ja'Cory Barnes did. But he's one of those young men that is going to lead by example on the sidelines. Had a little crown on his head earlier on the sidelines, but you'll see number 5 in white on the sidelines right around the 35-yard line supporting his teammates.
1st and 20. They set up the screen, but Garrett Holcomb, Williamson all over it. They eat it up, maybe about a 2-yard pickup right there on the play.
I know another former Vigor Wolf that had his knee messed up his senior year. So
there's
you take a look
right there.
at Ja'Cory. Deshaun Davis lost his senior year due to a knee injury as well. So, you know, you look at the bright side and what happened for Deshaun Davis, going on to a terrific career at Auburn, now coaching at North Alabama.
Right.
Wish the best for Ja'Cory Barnes as well, as this young man has meant the world to his teammates, and you just want to see him continue to do well at the next level and continue to rehab and get back to where he left off.
3rd and 15 coming up here for the Vigor Wolves, their first possession in the second half. Pretty much all behind the running of Carlos Benjamin. Jet sweep, another helmet comes off. Dylan Jackson loses his lid as he is popped right at the line of scrimmage on the jet sweep. Corey, I don't know if it's too much WD-40 or lack of stickum, but there are a lot of lids flying tonight, man.
Well, I know there are a lot of licks being passed, but some of the licks have come after the players have bounced to the ground and with the turf without contact. That one, he caught it right underneath the chin. But again, you don't see helmets pop off this frequently, as Vigor's going to roll the dice on 4th down.
4th and 15. I believe Brisker's trying to get him to jump. Play clock under 10 seconds as he looks to Marcus Cook. And it wouldn't surprise me if Marcus Cook calls a timeout here. And there's the whistle from our white hat as Vigor calls the timeout. So we'll take a break and be back, give you some more action. It's almost like a chess match right now, but Vigor is up 12-0.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Fourth and 15 for the Wolves. Coach Marcus Cook called a timeout. Corey, don't be surprised if the fake may be on. Very low snap. Graham gets it off. Fielded by the Lions at about the 10. No flags on the play as Taj Overton is tackled near the 25-yard line. Thought it possibly could have been a horse collar.
Coach Coleman on the sidelines going irate, threw his play calling sheet down because he wanted that horse collar call, and we'll get right in here in your living room as you look at catching it off the bounce to see if he got it on the inside. Grabbed it by the back of his jersey, not necessarily grabbing it on the inside.
Right.
So I think that it really did look like he had horse collared him, but grabbed the back of that jersey right from the collar, not necessarily having a horse collar call.
So I believe we're at our heat timeout right now, Corey. So I think I'll listen to my producer, and we'll go with the 5A poll from the Alabama Sports Writers Association as Jonathan Armstrong seeks it in. Pleasant Grove remains on top for another week, but the Dolphins of Gulf Shores move up 5 spots to 3 and receive 1 first-place vote as well. They're battling UMS Wright tonight as the Bulldogs remain at 6 for another week. Faith Academy falls to a tie for 7th. And picking up 1 first-place vote as well outside the top 10, our Vigor Wolves tonight, we're showing you, they pick up 3 votes. Move up to the 6A poll. Once again, Saraland receives all but 1 first-place vote to retain a top spot. Theodore holds tight at number 8 and for another week. And Spanish Fort and St. Paul's are outside the top 10. We'll get to the 7A poll coming up shortly. And, Corey, I believe you showed me a score I couldn't say wow enough. Saraland on top of Spanish Fort, 42-0
at the half.
Wow.
And the Spartans flexing their muscles, not only in the state rankings, sitting top of that 6A poll, but nationally ranked in a lot of these polls as well.
Whitehead Jonathan Armstrong about to signal us ready to play. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Ball at the 26. Now Travius Martin scatters and scatters, and another lid loose on the field. I think I'm going to have to call in engineer Fran Conway to get down there and check out what's going on with these. See, Fran takes care of us in the booth, Corey.
Yeah.
We have all the what's those things called, the twisty ties, and he'll hook us up on the camera. I'm going to have to send Fran down to the field and check these helmets
he'll
out.
buckle them up for sure.
Oh, he'll buckle
Strap
them up, brother.
To make sure they take care of their heads, because that's why you wear a helmet, to prevent those head injuries. And you got to make sure your dome is really tightened up here as licks are being passed aggressively on the football field, offensively and defensively. You're seeing helmets go flying.
Don't forget, coming up, the game of the week, Brain Buster. It'll be headed your way shortly, so stick around for that. We'll put the question out there and see if we can get Mr. LeBounty to give us correct answer tonight for the game of the week, Brain Buster. And all these lids coming off, man. We don't need brains, but I mean, that's a safety issue, seriously.
Yeah, you're talking about a brain buster. You miss that helmet and it hits the turf, it'll be a brain buster for sure.
35 here for the Lions. Dickens up the middle. He does slide. Where he started the slide at is right at the line to gain, the 36, so it'll be a first down, I believe, for the Williamson Lions. That's something that hasn't occurred since middle of the 2nd quarter.
That's something that's crucial for Williamson to do here, as we are under 4:50 in the 3rd quarter, is to continue to put first downs together.
Ball sits at the Williamson 37, handoff back to Martin again. He's struggling to go north and south, but they are pushing him laterally, possibly 1 or 2 yards on the play.
Emmanuel Gales coming up and making the stop from his outside linebacker position. 5'11", 185-pound freshman. Again, 18 in white is a freshman, folks, and he's out here laying lumber with the big boys.
Trip receivers to the top, Maddox and Donald in the slot. 2nd and 8 for the Williamson Lions. Hand off to Martin. He just goes right into that pile. I think they're going to credit him maybe with a yard, possibly, Corey.
It'll bring up 3rd down and close to 7 yards to go. And if they do credit him with that yard,
no
it will
gain.
be 3rd and 8.
It's still sitting at the 39, so no gain on the play. 3rd and 8.
If you're Williamson right here with 3:30 remaining, you don't want to have to burn any type of timeout getting the play in. You want to just make sure that you don't turn the ball over either.
Ellis McGaskin flashes out. They throw it out to him. Boy, he has space, but you have to catch the ball first before you can run with it. Incomplete pass. Corey, he could have picked up the first down plus some more.
Was going to have yards after catch on that one, and he just wished he could have that back.
Yeah.
The 6'1", 175-pound freshman wanted to look down the field and see all this beautiful brand new green turf that's here at Ladd Peebles Stadium, and unfortunately was not able to catch it first. Brings up a 4th down and 8 yards to go, and Vigor's going to have a chance to respond here offensively now.
Carlos Benjamin sets up at his own 30-yard line. So, Corey, I don't know what happened, but Mr. Pedraza is not here doing kicking duties tonight. It's been all Yusuf Clark for Williamson.
Which is definitely the backup punter for Williamson. And we mentioned all phases of special teams.
You did.
Must be on all cylinders for the Williamson Lions, and that's not the case here tonight, as Yusuf Clark probably averaging close to 17 yards on his first punt. We'll see if he gets a clean one here.
After the delay of game, Benjamin muff punt, and I believe Williamson has recovered it. The Lions are going to keep possession. Great field position, ball at the 32-yard line, so the drive lives. The Lions get to fight another day here.
Well, what you see is just taking your eye off of the football and not able to recover it. Good special teams. I mentioned that special teams are definitely a factor. Yusuf Clark was able to put toe to leather and get enough hang time to get his gunners down the field to where when you try to field that punt, you bump it, they're able to pick it up. But great job by the Williamson Lions now. Whether this will give them the momentum they need, the spark that they need to get on the scoreboard, you're not going to get better red zone opportunities if you're able to get this first down than what you got in the first half.
First and 10, ball on 32, back to Maddox as they are pulling him back. Possibly no gain on the play. He takes Williamson to second down.
Xavier Jackson, 6 foot, 245-pound senior, making the tackle for defensive coordinator Montrez Lang's defense. Again, Vigor giving up 17.3 points per game, nothing tonight. And you don't want to have negative yardage on first down because it puts you behind schedule. 2nd and 12. We'll see here if they're able to find their playmaker, Keith Donald, number 12, or Torian Nettles.
Dinkins has time, goes up the middle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Corey, I don't know if he worked through his progressions that quick or it was just the Vigor defense had everyone covered up.
It was a little bit of both. That great defense, and you start getting a little antsy when you feel that pressure in the pocket. That timer goes off as a quarterback in your head, and now you're looking at a 3rd and 12 for Williamson. And you really have dynamic Elijah Lucky, Keith Donald, and Nettles all can make plays after the catch.
Looking to the right, head trip receivers. Dinkins going to air it out. Lucky brings it in near the 25-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but it gets them closer, about 2 or 3 yards short. The line to gain appears to be the 22-yard line.
One of the best throws and catches of the night for the Williamson Lions. You go to that trips to the right side of the field, and you have coming back to the football Lucky, and now you're in a critical 4th and 3 situation, and the play clock is running down. You don't want to burn a timeout here to end the 3rd quarter of play, so you know how important it is, though, to convert here on 4th down and keep this drive alive.
Play clock under 10. It is 4th down. I believe Coach Coleman is going to call a timeout. He calls that timeout. We'll get that 7A poll back up and take a look at it. Thompson still sits atop the poll here. And look at Mary Montgomery achieving their highest ever ranking in school history at number 4. Baker enters the poll for the first time this year at 10. Foley drops out of the top 10, and Fairhope picks up 2 votes. And if you didn't notice it, Corey, Hoover checking in at number 9. The last time the Bucks were ranked this low, you have to go back. Let me take you back to the year 2000. That long, 23 years.
Uncharted territory for the Buccaneers. They do play a national schedule, which is very tough. But, you know, when Mary G. Montgomery, for the first time ever, is ranked ahead of Hoover, that's something to be impressed with.
Isn't that something?
With the job that MGM is doing. And you have to be impressed with year in and year out Hoover being able to sustain that for over 23 years also.
Man, that's something else. Ball sitting squarely on the 25-yard line. They need to make the 22. Maddox goes in motion. Here's the play call. Dinkins has time. Almost picked off by Vigor, but ball over on downs as it was 4th down.
It's like 7-on-7 drills right there. Kamari White from his star position, 5'9", 175-pound junior, breaks that pass up, but great protection by this offensive line, just not able to connect on that 4th down pass, as that's one that I know that you call that timeout in order to convert.
Yeah, White was pretty much kind of jumping the route right there, trying to pick it off. That would have been the 5th turnover tonight against Williamson. 1st and 10 for Vigor at their own 25-yard line. Brisker rolling out to his right. Just going to go out of bounds for about a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Positive yardage, though, by Brisker, making sure he didn't take the sack, surveying the field, seeing if anyone would come open. Didn't happen. Steps out of bounds with 34 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of action, to where we've had no offense to speak of really since the 1st quarter, and that first score by Vigor, because the other was off a defensive turnover, and we've had more red zone empty opportunities than anything else.
Hand off to Carlos Benjamin, one of our spotlight players tonight, picks up the 1st down. The spotlight on him right there as he takes it up to the 37. This is Vigor's 2nd possession here in the 3rd quarter. Williamson has had the ball 3 times as well. The only action we really saw was the Carlos Benjamin muff punt that gave Williamson a 2nd life, basically on that long drive, really.
And that's the only turnover the Wolfpack have had versus the 4 by Williamson, all committed in the first half. And that's the difference here as we complete the 3rd quarter of action.
Wraps up 3 quarters with Vigor on top 12-0. So we're going to give you our Game of the Week brain buster question while we have a break right here. We'll get the question put up and see what we can come up with here, Corey. All right, here's the Game of the Week Brainbuster. What former Williamson Lion was a 3-time first-team All-State selection and was once named the 5A Lineman of the Year? Think about that one for a second there, and we'll give you the answer on the flip side. Williamson known throughout the years for its strong defensive players and defensive play. So stick around for the answer to the Game of the Week Brainbuster coming up shortly. As we enter the 4th quarter, let's take a look at stats so far through 3 quarters. This last 3rd quarter, no scoring took place, but the rushing yardage increased by both teams. Unfortunately, penalties increased for Williamson.
The score stays the same, 4 turnovers to 1 when you look at that off of the muff punt.
The muff punt by Carlos Benjamin.
Vigor, and you do have that updated as of now, and 69 rushing yards I think will increase here for Vigor, but
only 9 passing yards for the Wolves.
But the total yardage is what amazes
that's unreal, isn't it? Yeah.
The total yardage is something I know that is a concern for Vigor, even though when you look, you're 3-0 overall. If you win this game, you'll move to 4-0 and 3-0 in the region. And I know Marcus Cook, he doesn't care how he has to win as long as it's a W by his name.
And off to Benjamin as he is tackled for a loss behind the line of scrimmage by Williamson. Welcome to the 4th quarter, Mr. Benjamin.
Keontae Petaway on the stop, and I want to take this opportunity to shout out Marcus Cook's mom. Miss Cook, She is an educator at Lioncoff Elementary School.
Okay.
Had the pleasure of working with her for a few years there, and she does a tremendous job educating and teaching the youngsters at Lioncoff Elementary School. So want to give a shout out to Miss Cook, Marcus Cook's mom. I know you're watching this evening, so your son's up on the scoreboard so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this fourth quarter of action.
Second and about 13 coming up here from the 34. Vigor with the run right there. Look like Demetrius Johnson.
Demetrius Johnson, the 5'6", 165-pound freshman. We're seeing a lot of youth on this field for both Williamson and Vigor. You look at the freshman trying to hit the hole, but a good job of shooting the gap by Dale Brown, making sure that no yards were gained, and now you're at a third down and close to 14 yards to go.
Ball sitting at the 33-yard line of Vigor. Brisker has time, but he's got to get out the pocket now. Escapes near the line of scrimmage. They'll credit him about 2 or 3 as he gets it up to about the 37-yard line, but that takes Vigor to fourth down and looking like a punt right here for the Wolves coming up.
Well, if you're Vigor, you definitely want to flip the field. You want the clock to continue to run, so you want to stay in bounds at any point in time when you know you're not going to pick up that first down. But we'll see here if Williamson's able to score and manufacture some points from a special team standpoint, which would be huge for them to be able to do.
Brisker in to punt this time. The last 2 snaps to Graham was low. That one's low. It skips. Almost blocked by Williamson as Brisker gets it off, but a flag on the play. Could that be running into the kicker?
It's definitely the
or
call.
Kick interference?
It's definitely going to be running into, because our white hat, Mr. Jonathan, was Johnny on the spot. Look at that. And as soon as he ran into him and rolled up under him,
that
could have been
that may be
dangerous.
the big 15, Corey. Yep.
You look at how awkward he was folded up, and you're looking at a young man who is verbally committed to South Alabama and is a track star as well. So
that was Brisker on the punt, not Graham.
You don't want anything to happen to your big-time players. And in that situation, you have to protect the kicker, and that's exactly what they were able to do.
So it appears as if it is not the big 15, just the 5-yard variety. Pushes the ball up to the 42-yard line.
And Graham will continue to get ready to punt this one again.
Now Graham in to punt. A high snap this time. Gets it off. Taj Overton does field it at his own 30-yard line. I thought he was going to stay away from that as he is tackled and wrapped up right at the 30. Some of the Vigor Wolves saying we actually recovered the ball. So they're saying Overton is down maybe at the 31-yard line.
Now what you're looking for if you're Williamson, you forget about what's going on the first 30 minutes of this contest.
Only down 12
You're
nothing.
only down a couple of scores. And
2 scores.
You just have to find a way to have that momentum and that explosive play offensively. As you look at this punt going away, and Vigor was saying, look, a Williamson player touched it first and it nicked them, and that's why they wanted to make sure that they were able to rip it away. But when you're ripping it away on the ground, you're already down.
He's already down, Corey.
But
they tried to sell it.
Yes,
They tried to sell
I love
it.
the fact that you're trying to rip the football away.
Williamson Lions set up the screen. Maddox is tripped up near the 35-yard line. Takes Williamson to second down, about a 4-yard pickup.
Kevin Malone on the stop, 5'9", 172-pound junior. The first time we've really called his name tonight, coming up from his cornerback position, making the stop on the play. But positive yardage by Williamson on first down, 2nd and 5.
Hand off to Martin. He picks up a couple. Third down coming up here for Williamson. Critical. 1 timeout remaining for the Lions. 2 for Vigor.
And that's Brandon Purifoy, our threaded fastener impact player.
No, I'm correction. It should be 2 timeouts remaining. I think Ladd has it incorrect. Antonio Coleman's only used 1, Corey. Miss Diane is right. It's 2 for each team.
Third down and right at 4 yards to go here for Williamson. You must continue to convert. If you're Vigor, you want to get off the field here on money down.
Donald in the slot at the top. Pressure coming in on Dinkins. They flush him to the inside. And look at there, Corey. His leg comes off at the 38-yard line. Where is Fran when you need him?
we definitely need an equipment specialist down to the sideline, because that's the 9th helmet that we've seen roll off of a player.
Can we call Rydell? Is shoot?
Man,
shoot somebody?
It is one of those situations
wow.
to where I've never seen
I have
this
never
happen.
seen this.
No, not 9 times in a contest. The clock still runs. You're at 4th and about 2 yards to go.
And these are precious seconds. Williamson down 2 scores. By no means are they out of the ball game, but these seconds are critical here. Carlos Benjamin at his 32-yard line.
Offsides on the kickoff.
Correction, not Benjamin. Garrett Holcomb back. He squeezes out of a jam, but they jam him up near the 22, but a flag is on the play.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down for Williamson, because you line up off sides, and as soon as the ball was snapped, you could see him try to dance back on that left defensive end, trying to gun and block it, and you just have to be aware of where you're lined up. If we're able to look at that one more time, you'll see right at the bottom of your screen lining up off sides there, and it was an easy call. Right at the bottom of your screen, you're able to see it, and
that's definitely offside score.
No question about it. You just have to know where the football is, and that's going to give Williamson a fresh set of downs.
That'll get Coach Marcus Cook incensed. So Coach Whitehead Jonathan Armstrong talking to Antonio Coleman. Looked like he went blow to the head. We'll let them figure this out, and we'll see what the end result's going to be here.
Blindside block on it.
So a blindside block called against Vigor. I have yet to see encroachment or offsides signaled by the crew, Corey.
Well,
but a blindside block.
We know it's pick your penalty in that situation for sure, because the play developed after he did jump off sides, and when you pick the penalty that's going to get you the most yardage there, I know Antonio Coleman talking about that first to say, hey, look, let's just make sure that we get this right, and that's what our white hat is talking about first.
Well, while they discuss it, let's reveal the answer to the Game of the Week brain buster, because I thought it was going to be first down for Williamson. So we'll put the question up there and get the answer up right quick for you. So here's the question. What former Williamson Lion was a 3-time first-team All-State selection and was once named 5A Lineman of the Year in the state of Alabama?
I like Antonio Coleman.
Corey says it's Antonio Coleman. And let's see what the answer is. Corey, you are correct, sir. Antonio Coleman was the 2004 5A Lineman of the Year. And look at that, first team All-State in 2002, 2003, and 2004.
Didn't have too shabby of a career.
Did not.
At Auburn University either. And had a chance there to make it to the NFL along with playing the CFL. So
good job, Mr. LeBound.
Thank you, sir. The pedigree there by their head coach is second to none. I mean, when you're able to walk the halls and you're able to walk the walk and talk the talk of your players, for your players, and literally been there, done that, Antonio Coleman, a tremendous asset to the Maysville and Williamson Lion family.
Officials continue to discuss matters As you said, Cora, we thought it was offsides because the flag was just on the sideline near the Williamson side of the field, where you probably thought offsides would have been called, but only signal was a blindside block.
Well, the worst case scenario, they're going to go back and re-kick. And that's really going to probably make Antonio Coleman pretty angry. Because
I thought it would have been enough to get the first down, but apparently it was not.
We'll let the officials try to sort that out and explain it as he's gone over and talked to Antonio and also going over to talk to head coach Marcus Cook.
But we'll take our time to thank our sponsors for the game tonight. Want to shout out to Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs and save more lives. Stop by and see our friend Neil Patel and the crew at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. For every sub purchased, a portion of that will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Also want to thank BSN Sports. If you need team apparel or equipment from basketball to wrestling, all sports in between, BSN Sports, they're the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Got to thank BSN Sports and Firehouse Subs for being sponsors tonight of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, Kimberly Dunn on the field, statisticians Matt Moore and China Powell in the booth with us atop Ladd Peebles Memorial Stadium. Corey, I'll do the top of the hour ID since it's 9 o'clock here on the MCPSS TV network. We may get a call here, possibly from our Whitehead. This is like a free heat timeout for us.
It really is, and when you look at the yard markers never being moved, maybe a situation where we do have the re-kick.
And now the sticks are coming back to Williamson's side of the field as they sort this out. But hats off to the crew. They're actually 2 officials short tonight. So they're putting in really some extra work tonight.
And again, being an AHSAA official, there's always that shortage, but they still do a tremendous job each and every Thursday and Friday night for our high school kids.
Prior to the snap, we had encroachment on the defense. It's going to be first down, black ball, first down.
Well, as they say in spades, go with your first mind. And Corey, your first mind was it was offsides, it should be first down.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's the call.
If you're Williamson now, you just need to go ahead and put together a couple of more first downs here, and you'll be right back in this contest.
I know China Powell's over there figuring out what yardage is going on. So we're at the 42, first and 10. That pass incomplete as Dinkins tried to thread the needle, almost picked off by Vigor.
Well, what you're looking at is a situation where Williamson has had the most success when they go trips, and they put Keith Donald, Torian Nettles, and Elijah Lucky on the same side of the field to spread out this Vigor 4-3 defense. And when you're able to do that and you're able to run a nice route and give the quarterback, Mr. Dinkins, a little bit of time, he's able to find one of those receivers coming back to the football. So that's the most success that Williamson has had.
Second and 10, Maddox up the middle for a gain of 1, maybe 2. Third and long coming up here for the Lions as we approach 7 minutes remaining here in the contest.
Quickly it becomes third down and 9 for Williamson, and offensive coordinator Jamal Henry having no trouble getting the play in early, and now it's just going to boil down to an execution standpoint for this Lion offense to run great routes. And there it is. To the top of your screen, you're seeing the 3 wide receivers. And here is where, if they give Dinkins enough time, you'll see Williamson convert on third down.
The one guy I'm noticing, 6'8" tight end Silas Evans checks into the ball game as he provides blocking. Dinkins airs it out, tipped by Brandon Coates, who had 2 interceptions early in the ball game, but a flag on the field.
Not quite sure if you gave the wide receiver an opportunity to go vertical and catch that football without pushing him first. So we'll see if it is going to be pass interference called against the Wolfpack, which will move those sticks for Williamson.
Pass interference on the defense.
So that's going to be a first down coming up for Williamson. So that is back-to-back penalties against Vigor that have given up first downs to the Lions.
Well, if you could go ahead and get on this board, this scoreboard, with a little less than 4 minutes remaining, you're going to give yourself an opportunity.
You can see it right there.
Clearly, great job of the truck going with the replay there. It is going to be a fresh set of downs, but I'm telling you, the trip formation is what's giving Vigor the most problem.
Ball on the 44-yard line. Maddox wrapped up for a loss. I believe Jake Lang in there on the tackle there, Corey.
And the freshman, number 18, he's already welcomed himself to the party. Emmanuel Gales continues to introduce himself to the entire broadcasting network. And you look at us getting ready to, the clock continuing to run. Is it there?
Well,
it does
I think
stop.
it's the heat timeout right here. We're going to take a break and come back and bring you more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
It's your time, it's your season, and you are made for more. More confidence, more style, and more bling. The Genuine Bling is here to deliver you more bling and more fashion. With new styles added daily, you can shop anytime and look fabulous. Join me, Charmaine Watson, on the $5 Frenzy every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. It's cute, it's fabulous, it's fashionable, it's $5, it's paparazzi.
Do you feel alone, overwhelmed, or helpless?
There's hope. There's hope. Call or text 988.
You don't have to face your crisis alone. If you need a safe space to talk with a trusted adult for support, reach out to your school counselor.
Do you need help to make it through everyday struggles? Do you need someone to talk to?
Call or text 988. Your social emotional wellness is worth it.
Remember, there's hope, there's help.
For executive producer Quentin Howard, director Wade Ford, and engineer Fran Conaway, you're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corley Bounty. On the sidelines, Kimberly Dunn giving you the action. Second and a long 15 coming up here for the Williamson Lions. Down 12 points, 6:11 remaining in the contest. They need 2 scores to get back in this ball game. Dinkins airs it out to Elijah Lucky. Across the 35 goes Lucky, and I think he's lucky enough he picked up a first down.
That's a great job of the progressions of Dinkins. The quarterback just finds his wide receiver, and now you're going to have an injury timeout as Elijah Lucky goes down. And hopefully it's not a serious ankle problem, but if you look at Dinkins on the replay, really feeling out the defense and goes through his progressions, throws a nice tight spiral, and rolled up on his ankle.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened there for him to sit and grab that ankle. Had his ankle rolled up on by one of the Vigor defenders who made the tackle.
We'll take an injury timeout and be right back. Give you more action here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Lucky walks off the field on his own power right there as he goes to the sideline. 3rd and short coming up, not enough for the first down. He was giving his best effort, so I'm going to say 3rd and inches here coming up for Williamson.
Critical 3rd down for them to be able to convert.
High snap. That delayed Maddox, but he laid out, and I don't think that's going to be enough as Jake Lane came in there and wrapped him up, Corey, and I think that high snap may have thrown off the timing between Dinkins and Maddox.
Lang does a good job of getting to the backfield, but you mentioned not able to stretch out because he was hit in the backfield, as when he did lay out moving forward, it's going to be 4th and inches. And they say life is a game of inches, football is a game of inches. This 5A Region 1 matchup here late in the 4th quarter is going to come down to 4th and inches for Williamson to keep their hopes alive.
In comes Ellis McGaskin and the crew. McGaskin with the pink gloves. You can spot him a mile away here at Lad Peoples. And I think Antonio Coleman wants to discuss things as he takes a timeout with 5 minutes left. Pretty much the ball game on the line right here. Down 2 scores. You have to get the first down right now.
Inches, inches, inches. And you know Williamson operates from this shotgun offense. So the most critical part is going to be this center, Wesley Hawkins, getting the snap to Alvin Dinkins. And it has to be a clean snap. It can't be a low snap. And all the offensive line have to fire off the ball, because all you need is literally a matter of inches. Now, I would be shocked if the Williamson Lions come and line up under center here. That would be definitely their goal line package and their big boy package, but they've just had traditionally lined up in the shotgun formation.
And it looks like they're going with the big boy package. There's McGaskin. Yusuf Clark back there as well with Maddox just to the side.
And you must not have a penalty right here, Al. You know what the snap count is. You can't have a false start.
And in this formation, twice tonight we've seen a false start. No false start there. McGaskin met right at the 35.
He didn't get it.
That is not a first down.
He did not get it. Brandon Purifoy
blew it up.
Shot the gap.
Blew it up.
And was able to end the Williamson Lions' hopes on that. And that's why Purifoy is our threaded fasteners impact player of the game. He just timed that excellent and was able to knock the legs out of Ellis McGaskin. The 6'1", 175-pound freshman had nowhere to go, and with 4:39 remaining here in the 4th quarter, Vigor's going to get an opportunity here to give a steady and heavy dose of Carlos Benjamin.
Now, Ladd is saying Williamson is out of timeouts. I'm with Miss Diane in the truck. I believe they have 1 remaining. And we're going to get our first dose of Benjamin right here as he picks up a couple, maybe 3 or 4 on the carry. All Vigor has to do is run it and get a first down.
Can't say enough about Brandon Purifoy.
You're right.
Again, a true freshman winning a state championship as a true freshman, as a 9th grader leading the team in tackles, and then he comes in and he makes an impact at the end of the game. And again, I do know that's why you are looking at a threaded fasteners impact player of the game in the verbal commit to Mississippi Valley State. Has already had a 97-yard fumble return for a touchdown, and he comes in and makes a difference on defense.
Back to Benjamin. He escapes a tackler. I think he gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up here. Clock continuing to tick.
And
Ellis McGaskin getting up slow.
He playing both ways. That young man is a tremendous athlete, and he just is what we would call a dog that can play both ways, just like Travis Hunter does on the next level for the Colorado Buffaloes. We're looking at a young man who comes in, runs the football, comes and plays defense, and just gives you all he has on Friday nights for Antonio Cole.
3rd down and about a long 8 coming up here for Vigor. Brisker still in under center. Hand off to Benjamin. Our first time tonight, the turf monster ate him up as he lost his footing at the 35-yard line. So the Williamson defense trying to hold as Vigor run as they should be doing. Eating clock.
There's no doubt that you will see Vigor take this clock down to the last millisecond before they either take a timeout to prevent the delay of game or go ahead and take the delay of game. But either way it goes, the clock is the ally of the green and white.
I believe Coach Cook is going to call the timeout, play clock down to 3 seconds. And I noticed the game clock at Ladd ticked down a bit further, so we're right under 2 minutes, 1:59 remaining here in the contest. Big fourth down coming up here for the Vigor Wolves. Antonio Coleman talking to his crew here on the near side. A very nice sparse turnout tonight on both sides for Vigor and Williamson here at Ladd Stadium. As I predicted on your show today, Corey and Randy Kennedy, I expected the winner of this contest not to score more than 14 points tonight.
Well, I know that
I took the under.
Yeah, I really thought we would be looking at maybe 21-14 type of game, but you know, Vigor's defense has continued to have something to prove, especially after last week's contest where they spotted Centronell 28 points.
Right.
Credit to Centronell for jumping all over Vigor at home, but credit to this Vigor offense and defense for answering the call and finding a way to walk away with a huge win.
Very critical, the snap. Good snap to Graham. He gets off probably one of his best punts tonight. Taj Overton feels it. Gets up to about the 29-yard line. Next week, we're taking it down to Theodore. Make sure you join us at 6:50. Spanish Fort will be visiting Theodore for a 6A Region 1 battle, and we know Spanish Fort was down to Saraland earlier tonight at halftime, 42-0, but looking forward to that. Haven't had the Toros on the broadcast in maybe about 2 years, Corey. So,
absolutely.
And our first chance with Steve Mask on the MCPSS TV
with that
network.
brand new scoreboard
That's right.
At C.A. Douglas Field. And you look at the overall plays. Tonight, Williamson has run more plays than the Vigor Wolves.
Wow.
And I think when it boils down to it and you go back and you look at this film, if you're head coach Antonio Coleman, you're going to be upset with the red zone opportunities and the lack of execution within that red zone area.
Lions about to run their 43rd play of the ball game. Dinkins has time. Incomplete. Goes into the ground. Couple seconds ticked off the game clock there. I noticed that. I'm not down there with the PA guys and the officials, Corey, but I thought the play was dead when the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, it definitely.
That's what I thought.
Hey, look, everybody ready to go home a little early tonight, but you do have to stop it when it is an incomplete pass. And now you're looking at a 2nd and 10 for Williamson, and it just have to go vertical. And you've already thrown 3 interceptions tonight, so go ahead and take your shot.
Dinkins airs it out. Hauled in. John Austin with the catch. 3rd down and short coming up here as we approach 60 seconds left in the contest. Williamson needing 2 scores. They need to score and get the ball back as critical seconds are ticking off the clock.
Yeah, you
Trip
gotta
receivers to the bottom.
Sense of urgency, and the trips have been successful for Williamson coming back to the football, but you got to get out of bounds. That's a pick 6.
Picked off. Interception almost to the goal line with the interception on the play right there for Vigor. Cornelius Pearson, the 5th turnover tonight, 4 interceptions and 1 fumble against Williamson.
Well, you took your shot. You just took it down the middle of the field, and you have to run your out routes toward either past the sticks that will stop the first down with the first down, or run it to the outside to where you can step out of bounds. And unfortunately, because he did not, he decided to go to the middle great defensive job by Cornelius Pearson, the 6'1", 175-pound senior, undercutting that route and almost making that house call. And Vigor here can say, look, at the 4-yard line, we just want to take a knee, or we want to go ahead and mash it down your throat and show you what a rivalry really is. But it would be interesting to see here if they decide to take a knee.
And off to Carlos Benjamin as he is wrapped up. We'll get about Career Tech Education Player of the Game for tonight. We had some discussions and thought we had settled on someone until we had that big stop late in the fourth quarter. This man rose to the occasion. He had a 97-yard, if you want to call it a can opener, and score for 97 yards. Brandon Pierrefour, Corey, when he stopped that last drive by Williamson, that solidified him as the Career Tech Education Player of the Game.
The young man is special. I mean, he just finds a way to get things done, and the Wolfpack team decides they want to be special, and they wanted to change the narrative from a year ago.
5 turnovers in total tonight against Williamson, and at costly times, those turnovers did come about, and at the end cost them the ball game, as Vigor's going to get the victory 12-0, remain undefeated, but most importantly undefeated in region play.
Yeah, that's what's huge. You look at this Wolfpack program being able to take it a step further than they did 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And when you're able to do so behind the leadership of Marcus Cook, he is a graduate of Vigor. He knows what the standards are.
Right.
He's been part of the championship pedigree, and he wanted to get back to Vigor football. He was able to do that. And I know when you go back and you look at a couple of things that Vigor needed to do to win the game, they needed to make sure they won the turnover battle. They absolutely took care of that plus-minus situation for them, because I think going in they were -1 on the season. Now you're +4 because you're able to have 5 turnovers tonight. And you look at the ugly offense, it's kind of similar to Auburn going on the road to California last week. It wasn't pretty offensively, but it resulted in a W.
Let's take it down to the field with winning coach Marcus Cook and Kimberly Dunn.
Coach Cook, congratulations on the win tonight. What does this region win mean to you and your team?
We'll take it, but it was ugly win. We'll take it, but it was very ugly.
So what adjustments are you going to make with your team in preparation for next week?
Offensively, we got to get better. Special teams game, got to get better. Defense play, lights out, got the shutout, so I appreciate them for that, but we got to get better.
All right, Coach, I'll let you go and celebrate with your team. Thank y'all so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kimberly. Corey, he said it just like you said it. It was ugly, but he will take the win. Next week, we're taking it down to Theodore for a 6A Region 1 battle. It'll be Spanish Fort versus Theodore. So make sure you join us next week. That's going to be a real nice one. For Corley Bounty and Kimberly Dunn, statisticians China Powell and Matt Moore, I'm Al Wheaton, thanking you for joining us for another MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Vigor gets the win. They pitched the shutout 12-0.